Hi, I'm Subramanyam with Durga Software Solutions, Hyderabad. Durga Software Solutions is one of the premier top institutions in India and the best institute in Hyderabad. Why the best in Hyderabad? Because we are providing all the facilities. We are providing many platforms for various purposes. So different training programs are happening at different level. We have programs ranging from technical training like Java, Advanced Java, .NET, Oracle courses, HADOOP. Many courses are going on with a huge number of almost hundreds of thousands people are attending and progressing a lot, and they are getting the jobs in top-notch MNCs in the world like Amazon and Microsoft, Dell, IBM, Infosys, TCS, Wipro, like Oracle company, like these companies. And similarly, we also have campus recruitment training in Hyderabad at our office, Amirpet. So we are providing this campus recruitment training extensively for various colleges across the nation, as well even for our in-house training. So almost thousands of people are getting trained on campus recruitment training. Campus recruitment training consists of quantitative aptitude, reasoning, verbal English and soft skills. We also have another division or wing for competitive English and bank POs, clerical, SSC, RRB, even groups, group 1, group 2, CAT, MAT, GATE, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS. We all under the same umbrella, we all have these courses to train the people on various aspects. Now, in the past, we have discussed many topics, all these topics in our competitive English. So if you see various videos, you will find what are the topics we have taught so far, right? So when we see this competitive English, most of the questions come from this section of English language. Most of the questions come from this section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the 8 very, very important topics which are really asked in every competitive examination. If we can really master these, it's really easy for us. It's not a big deal for us to master these things. And reading comprehension, spotting errors, fill in the blanks, closeness, scrambled sentences, sentence improvement, synonyms, antonyms, correct spelling or inappropriate words. So reading comprehension, as I said earlier, just by many people find it so difficult reading comprehension because lack of reading, voracious reading habit. Many people ask me, sir, how do I develop my reading skills? If you read the newspapers every day, minimum 2 to 3 editorial pages of various newspapers, extensively and excessively analyze what is given, what is the author was speaking and giving the data, implying the data in that articles, then you will become master in reading comprehension passages. Reading comprehension passages are widely chosen from various topics, from general day-to-day topics to international current events. So when we are really thorough with this international current events and general awareness, then it is easy for us to attempt the questions. And one of the techniques to improve in reading comprehension, mostly we need to improve rate of speed of reading. General average rate of speed for any average human being today, 200 words to 250 words. 200 words to 200 words per minute. 200 words per minute to 250 words per minute. For your information, if we want to get through this competitive examinations point of view, reading comprehension, one must have the ability to read 450 words to 500 words per minute. If we have this ability to read and comprehend, becoming successful, getting 10 out of 10, making our fruitful effort is not a big deal for us. because reading comprehension needs more understanding of the passage, more speed reading technique also. So when we apply the reading comprehension strategies by improving our rate of speed of reading, then it is not a big deal to attempt reading comprehension. For clerical level, it is very nominal, 1 or 2 paragraphs will be given, but when it comes to bank POs or CAT level, MAT, GATE level, GRE level, the reading comprehension would become like a 2 pages or sometimes more than 5,000 words. So the world record says that 4,600 words per minute one person is reading. We don't want to be like that. We don't want to become world class speed reader. We want to become only successful competitor or successful person. So 4,600 words if we can read out, then it becomes so easy for us to get through this reading comprehension. So are you clear with the reading comprehension? Many people find it difficult because of 2 reasons. Number 1, we don't have the habit of reading the newspapers extensively. 2, we don't have the habit of attempting this reading comprehension passages more often. That is the major issue for us. The major problem with us is non-native speakers of English language like Telugu, Hindi and other languages except English, and we have a difficulty because attempting this reading comprehension requires a lot of grammar, it doesn't go with grammar, but still it needs more grammatical approach and your vocabulary and your speed reading. So the techniques are taught here, reading comprehension you can apply and make your job successful. Second, spotting errors. Generally, spotting errors questions come from wide range of grammar rules. From noun, pronoun, gerund, adjective, adverb, even prepositions, conjunctions. These are the areas of grammar spotting errors questions come from. And second area, tenses. Let me write down there. Since why this spotting errors question becomes very difficult for many people, because even many people can't even identify the mistake. We human beings are very excellent in identifying the mistakes of other people, but when it comes to this spotting errors in terms of competitive examinations, identifying the error in the sentence is not a cakewalk. It is really Herculean task. It's a really crocodile festival for non-native speakers of English language, because we are not aware of the mistakes. We are not used to speaking English also continuously. So we are not habituated to speak English and then read the English and write English. We are only very comfortable. We feel more comfortable in choosing our mother tongue. So for competitive examination point of view, spotting errors covers 4 major sections. Number 1 is grammar. Second is tenses. Number 3 is subject verb agreement rules. And one more section is your prepositions. So if conditional clauses, these are the wide range of areas they generally ask. So when they are asking the questions from these areas, absolutely we need to be very thorough with this area. So most of the students, those are preparing for clerical examination also, even clerical preliminary exam also, simple mistakes identifying in the sentence is really becoming tough. Now, so mastering your grammar rules, mastering your tenses, where to use and how to use, and subject agreement rules. Almost we have discussed in length about tenses, subject verb agreement rules, grammar, prepositions, if conditional clauses, and it is so easy for us to make our effort successful. So thank you very much, and if you can follow through all these 5 areas, if you follow through all these 5 areas, once you read through your notes, it becomes so easy for us. If you can really relearn, reopen your notebooks and then go through again all these rules. So identifying the spotting errors will not become nightmare for most of you now, if you follow these areas, if you are thorough with these 5 areas. And no error is also one of the options in spotting errors. So if the sentence, what are the techniques and strategies to be followed in spotting errors? Let me give you best example. Let us see some examples in reading. What is that? If we see correction of sentences, if you see some of the models, yes, now if you see some of the spotting errors, how we can attempt, then you will understand very easily. Spotting errors is the biggest problem for many people. How we can solve it? I am going to give you few techniques by attempting this 5 to 10 questions. If you see this one, each of the following sentences are divided into parts which are marked A, B, C and D. One of these parts may contain an error or may not be acceptable in standard written communication. Mark that part as your answer. The problem with the correction of sentences, we speak the language differently and we write the language differently. So when we write the language differently according to the syntax of the English grammar, then obviously we make mistakes. Obviously we tend to make mistakes. We always go with the wrong options because we always believe our ears. When other people are speaking, we think that yes, what they are speaking is true, so I should go with the same word which I have read, listened many times. It is not true at all. So written communication is completely different from spoken rules. Now let us see this question. She wore a dress to the party that was far more, no error, and D option is also there. She wore a dress to the party that was far more important, so no error. Second, if I would have been there, I certainly would have taken care of the problems. So what is the mistake lies here? The first A section makes mistake. If I had been there, the condition, if conditional clause, the mistake is there. If I had been there, I certainly would have taken care of the problem. So here, if I had been there is if conditional clause, third type mistake. So the sentence lies in the mistake lies in the first part of a sentence, that is A. No sooner had he began to speak when the opposition members started shouting slogans. So when the entire sentence is in the past perfect, we should not use this only started shouting. You can say no sooner had he began. This is the past perfect tense. So similarly we should also use this past perfect tense like this. So to speak when the opposition members had started, here we should use had started, otherwise sentence goes wrong. Now the reason her and her friend decided to take the bus instead of the train was that there was an announcement about cancellation of several trains. The reason of her, it is a of her, of must be there. Preposition mistake is there. What is that? Preposition mistakes. So most of the mistakes come from these prepositions and grammar itself. This is the mistake happened in the section A. Now unless there can be some assurance of increased wages, workers' morale already low will collapse. So unless there can be some assurance of increased wages, workers' morale will already be low. So here the sentence is, the mistake is there in the C part. Sixth question, a wise and experienced manager will assign a job to whoever is best qualified. Whomever is not correct. You say whoever is best qualified. The sentence mistake is there in the C part. Each of the hotels 150 rooms were. It is a were is wrong. Why? Because when the sentence starts with each, every, before plural nouns, it is always considered as a singular subject and takes singular verb. In this case, the mistake is there in the B part. Each of the hotel's 150 rooms was equipped with central air conditioning and color television. So that is the mistake happened. Now, eighth one, we did the job as good as we could. We did the job as good as we could. However, it did not turn out to be satisfactorily. It is not satisfactory, it is a satisfactorily. The mistake is lying in the, what is that? E part. Right? So, this is the D part, not E. Being that yes, this is the D part. The mistake is lying in the D section. Being that Punjab has a good surplus, it is hard to see why anyone in the state should sleep hungry. Should sleep hungry, okay. Being that Punjab has a good surplus, it is hard to see why anyone in the state should sleep with hungry or in hungry. It is not only hungry, with hungry or in hungry. The mistake lies in the last part. If I would have had more time, I would have prepared a much more detailed report. So here the sentence mistake is there in the first part itself. If I would have, no, if I had more time. We don't use in would have in the if conditional clause. So if I had more time, I would have prepared much more detailed report. So this is how the mistakes generally fall in correction of the sentences. Right? So when we attempt this correction of the sentences questions, we need to follow grammatical rules, we need to be master tenses, we need to be very thorough with the subject verb agreement rules, prepositions, if conditional clauses. Most of the correction of the sentences questions come from these 5 sections. If we are thorough with that, getting 5 out of 5 is not a big deal for us. So 5 marks for reading comprehension, 5 marks spotting errors, 5 marks for fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks, as I mentioned earlier in my individual class for fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks is the combination of reading comprehension and other grammar part. So fill in the blanks, if fill in the blanks are given with a single blank, it is easy. If the fill in the blanks is given with the 2 blanks, it is also very difficult. But still, I suggest if you go with the second option, second part of the sentence, then most of the answers lie in the second part of the sentence, not in the first part. So if you are thorough with the techniques which are taught in the classroom in earlier classes, then it becomes so easy for fill in the blanks. Attempting the 5 questions out of 5, getting the marks 5 out of 5 is not at all big deal for us in the fill up the blanks. Fill in the blanks questions come from tenses, fill up the blanks in the questions come from vocabulary, fill in the blanks questions from prepositions, fill in the blanks questions from synonyms, antonyms. So mostly fill in the blanks questions, 5 questions, attempting 5 within 2 minutes is not a big deal for us. It requires only your good stand or good stead over the vocabulary or good command over your tenses. So tenses, prepositions and vocabulary. These are the 3 areas generally fill in the blanks will cover. Next, cloze test. So cloze test, as I said earlier, minimum 5, maximum 10 marks. Even here also, this depends upon the stages of the exam. If the exam is like for clerical, they ask 5 questions. If the exam is for bank POs, this is 5. Similarly here also. So closed test really tests our three things. One is our grammar, that is tenses, your vocabulary and logic also. Closed test tests our specific skills, those are grammar, vocabulary and logic. If we are really thorough with the grammar and then vocabulary, then choosing the options in closed test is not at all big deal. But for many first time exam takers, it is very difficult, since closed test is the combination of reading comprehension and fill in the blanks. This is the combination of reading comprehension and fill in the blanks. So attempting this, we need to apply reading comprehension strategies and fill in the blanks strategies to attempt this, approach these closed test questions. Now scrambled sentences. Scrambled sentences also definite question for competitive examinations today. So getting 5 marks is not ordinary job in these scrambled sentences questions. Why? Many youngsters, many freshers are already practitioners. If they don't practice with 100